Brutal. Absolutely brutal. It wasn't brutal for Dillon Gabriel, who looked impressive in the first half today, at least on the field. His pregame attire was a bit questionable. If I'm his agent, I am immediately hiring a stylist to dress him. Dillon Gabriel came to the game today dressed like a 90s tourist. He was wearing jorts. He was carrying a bag that looked a lot like a purse. The only thing that he was missing was the fanny pack. Stylistic preferences aside, Dillon Gabriel showed up where it mattered most on the field. Unfortunately, can't say the same for Shedeur Sanders. It's amazing how fast things can change in the NFL. 2 weeks ago, Daddy Dion's baby boy was on top of the world. He was the starter against Carolina. He took advantage of the opportunity. Even though it was the preseason, there was a lot of pressure on Shador Sanders to perform, and he managed to respond. I thought he had earned his position. I thought his spot in Cleveland was cemented. Now, obviously, I wasn't expecting him to be the starter, but I thought he did enough to at least earn a spot on the 53-man roster. If these reports are true, it was another swing and a miss for Uncle KC. Here in the next 48 hours, the NFL career of Shedeur Sanders in Cleveland could be over. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Link to the main channels in the description below. You know, business relationships are similar to personal relationships. There's a lot of similarities. Now, of course, you're not doing the fornicating in business relationships, at least in most cases, but a lot of the other dynamics are the same, like looking at someone's actions instead of their meaningless words. It's easy for your girlfriend to say, "I love you, Bubba. I only have eyes for you." Those words are proven meaningless when you bust her sleeping with the Pepperidge Farm guy. Some men are experts at saying one thing and doing the complete opposite. Men can be really good with their words. They'll promise their girlfriend that they're getting married. "I just need a few more months, baby. I'm saving for a really expensive ring that you deserve." Meanwhile, most of his money is spent at the strip club at SeaWorld, where he's paying Shamu for lap dances. Words are meaningless without the appropriate action to back them up. Throughout training camp, the Browns have claimed that they have no problem going into the regular season with 4 quarterbacks on the roster. 5 quarterbacks if you count Deshaun Watson in that albatross of a contract. Joe Flacco obviously going to be the starter, and the Browns claim that they're going to keep Dillon Gabriel, Ken Pickett, and Shedeur Sanders. Me personally, I don't believe that bullshit. Why do you need 4 quarterbacks? Hell, you can make the case that the Browns have no quarterback because there's not a quarterback on the roster that's leading them to the playoffs this season. Apparently, I'm not the only one that's skeptical of the words coming out of the Browns organization. I'm not the only one that's questioning whether their actions will align with their words. Jason Lloyd, an NFL insider who covers the Browns for The Athletic, he would not be surprised if Shedeur Sanders is cut before the regular season. According to Jason Lloyd, the Browns coaching staff prefers Dillon Gabriel over Shedeur Sanders, which makes sense. It's obvious. Dillon Gabriel was drafted in the 3rd round. He has supposedly outperformed Shedeur Sanders in OTAs and training camp, but it's not like his status is cemented either. According to The Athletic, the Browns are already planning on drafting a quarterback in the 1st round next year, which means at this point, they don't see the quarterback of the future on the roster. It also means Shedeur Sanders could be in trouble. He damn sure didn't help himself today with that abysmal performance. He played damn near the entire second half, managed to throw 6 passes, spent most of the game with his ass planted firmly on the ground. Couple of sack fumbles, he took a sack for a 24-yard loss. The Shedeur Sanders that we saw today, that was not Deion's baby boy that we saw 2 weeks ago. He didn't look confident. He looked rattled. You got to wonder if his confidence has been shaken, because it seems like he's not exactly wanted in Cleveland, which isn't an unfair assumption when you look at the Browns' actions. Damn near everything they have done has shown that they're not high on Shedeur Sanders. He was last on the depth chart the first week of training camp. Looks like he's going to be last on the depth chart going into the final cuts on Tuesday. By Wednesday, he might not be on the depth chart at all. Now, according to Mary Kay Cabot, who covers the Browns for Cleveland.com, Shedeur Sanders is not getting cut. On the surface, it kind of makes sense. There would be unbelievable backlash from the fan base, not to mention the national media, if the Browns cut Shedeur Sanders. They would be absolutely crucified. At the same time, his star power could actually be a negative. It could work against him. Through no fault of his own, Shedeur Sanders is a distraction, which is the number one thing every coach in the NFL is trying to eliminate. If Joe Flacco gets off to a bad start, Browns are 0-4. The media will pressure Kevin Stefanski to start Shedeur Sanders. If he chooses to start Dillon Gabriel instead, the backlash would be even worse. From the Browns' perspective, it could be less of a headache if they just cut him. It would be one thing if they believed in him. It would be one thing if Shedeur Sanders was their guy. Clearly, he's not. And it's hard to deal with the distractions. It's hard to deal with all the bullshit when the guy causing it is not your guy. So I don't know what the hell they're going to do. What about you? Is Shedeur Sanders getting cut? Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys tomorrow.